Good morning, ladybirds. We have story time, and the story this morning is School Time for Sammy. Sammy the monkey. Let's see what Sammy gets up to when he's supposed to be going to school. Here we go. Are we ready? While his brother and sister get ready for the first day of school, Sammy is busy climbing his favorite tree. He swings from branch to branch, having so much fun. Pushing books into his satchel, Fred calls up, "You're old enough to go to school this year, Sammy." "I don't want to go to school. I want to stay at home and play," said Sammy. "But school is fun, and you'll learn all kinds of things," said Sophie. "I'm not going," said Sammy, dangling upside down and pulling a face. "I already know everything. I know how to climb the tallest trees. I can swing really fast. So there, catch me if you can." But Fred and Sophie didn't chase after him. They didn't want to be late for school. Sammy spent the morning playing, but soon got bored without any playmates. "What's wrong, Sammy?" asked his mother when she found him moping. "There's nobody to play with," said Sammy grumpily. "Well, your friends are all at school," explained his mum. "Maybe you should go too." "No way," shouted Sammy, scrambling back up a tree. At last Fred and Sophie returned home, chattering excitedly about their busy day. Sammy ran to greet them with an after-school smack. Smack. Sammy wanted Fred and Sophie to play with him, but they said they had homework to do. Sammy did not want to be left out. "I can do homework," he said, climbing onto the chair and joining them at the table. "How many days are there in April?" Fred asked Sophia. 2590 zillion, shouted Sammy, trying to be helpful. "Oh, Sammy, don't be silly. We're trying to work," said Sophie with a big sigh. When Sammy's friend came to visit, he was full of news about his new school. "The teachers are really nice, and I've learned lots of important things," said Jack proudly. "I know what 2 plus 2 is." "So do I," said Sammy, trying to count on his fingers. "What is it then?" asked Jack. It's a lot," he answered. "You don't know," exclaimed Jack. "I've learned how to write my own name," Jack continued. He picked up a stick with his tongue clenched between his teeth. He carefully wrote Jack in the dirt. "I can write my name too," said Sammy. "It's not writing, that's just a scribble," scoffed Jack. Poor Sammy felt rather embarrassed. Now Sammy was quite curious about school. "What else do you do at school, Jack?" he asked. "Well, I made lots of new friends, and we all played together," said Jack. As Sammy listened, Jack told him everything that he had learned. His favorite part of the day was show and tell, when people could bring in special things and share them with the class. "You really did a lot," said Sammy with a big sad sigh. "I'll paint you a picture of a tree if you want," offered Jack, to cheer up his friend. "That's another thing I learned today." Hardly blinking in case he missed anything, Sammy watched as Jack brushed paint over a piece of paper. "That's the best picture in the whole world," said Sammy admiringly. When Jack had gone, Sammy tried to draw the tree himself, but his paintings just looked a mess. That night at dinner, Sammy was very quiet. He didn't even feel like eating his dinner. Nobody noticed, though, because Sophie and Fred were chatting loudly about their school. "I got a gold star for my spelling test," bragged Sophia. "I won a race at playtime," said Fred proudly. "Well done, both of you," said their mother and their father. After dinner, Sammy decided he wanted to be as clever as his brother and his sister. Very quietly, he crept over to Sophia's school satchel and slipped out a book. Sitting in a corner, he opened the book and tried to read it. But it was no use. The words just looked like squiggles to him. When Sophie and Fred found Sammy with a book, they read him the story. It was a thrilling tale all about pirates. Next morning, Sammy woke up very early. He was very excited as he scratched for the little satchel that his mother had made him. When he found it, he packed Effalump, his favorite toy, carefully inside. He wanted to have something for show and tell. Sammy marched into the kitchen and announced, "I'm ready." Sammy's family looked up in surprise. "Ready for what?" asked his father. I want to go to school after all," declared Sammy. "I want to learn how to read and write and count and draw beautiful pictures." "How wonderful," said his mother. "But first you'll need to have some breakfast." After breakfast, Sammy set off with Sophie and Fred, walking at a very quick pace. I'm already a day late for school," said Sammy with a grin. "I don't want to miss any more." The end. So Sammy went to school, didn't he? Eventually, only when he realized that everybody else was having so much fun at school, and Sammy really was getting very bored at home because he wasn't learning how to read and how to write and how to play nicely and do all sorts of fun things that he did at school. So I think Sammy made the right move on packing his Ellie and going off to school. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the story about Sammy the little monkey. I'll chat to you just now. Bye.